It is Pride Month and everyone on the internet is fucking pissed. Welcome back to my channel. Alright y'all, get excited. Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. If you haven't watched my Get to Know Me video, my name's Morgan and I'm from a small town in South Carolina. I was born and raised on Hilton Head Island, but went to school when I was older in high school in Bluffton. My parents were divorced, so I went back and forth in between both of them. I have a strong point to make today, so we have notes. So if you see me looking down reading, that's why, because I don't want to get anything that I'm about to say wrong. My small town in South Carolina, in the South, is having their first ever Pride Parade, and I'm beyond excited. In high school, I wasn't openly gay, but there were kids in school that were, and it never seemed to be an issue. Since coming out, I've never run into any issues. Obviously, there's people who are around me that aren't super happy about it, but there's not anybody that's shamed me for it, right? And maybe they've tried, but I just don't care enough about what they have to say. But a couple of girls from my school that we graduated from are people that helped start the Pride Parade in Bluffton, and that's awesome. You guys rock. I'm so happy. I can't wait. We're showing up with a ton of people, bringing a ton of people from Hinesville down to Bluffton, and have a bunch of people from Bluffton that are meeting us there. So we're gonna have a ton of people, and it's going to be amazing. But they came out with this beautiful promotion video on Facebook, and if you haven't seen it, I'll link it down below. You can go support them and probably try to flood the comments with something more positive than what I'm seeing below, because all of the comments are people they're all about God, and they're all just about how we're living in sin and how we're gonna go to hell and they're gonna go to heaven, and how they don't want this in their community. It's been living in your community. It's been here. We're here. Get the fuck over it. So another thing, if I start sweating in this video, our air conditioning's broken. But I can't keep that fan on while I'm filming because then you can't hear me. So let's get into this, shall we? I have lots of notes because after seeing all these comments about how God doesn't approve of homosexuality, I decided to do some research. I had done research before. If you don't know about me, in high school, I was a really devout Christian. I have read the Bible cover to cover several times. I was a Sunday school teacher. I worked after school in my church. I went to youth group. I sang in the church band for a little while in my youth group. And yeah, I was really into it. I'm not now. I am a Wiccan now, which that'll be for a whole nother time. But I don't discriminate against people's religions. You believe what you believe, and I respect that. I'm not going to shove my religion down your throat. Don't shove yours down my throat, and we'll be okay. But here we go. The claim is that homosexuality is forbidden by God. In biblical times, they didn't understand sexual orientation at all, in general. The word homosexuality didn't even come about until the 19th century. So in the times that the Bible was written, the word homosexuality was never in it. Because as time has progressed, as it's been translated in many different verses and versions, the word has been introduced into the Bible, but that word was not even created in the time that the Bible was written. And if you don't believe me, you can Google it. I'll insert some screenshots where I Googled it. One of the verses that I've seen people use is Romans 1:26-27. And that reads as follows. Because of this, God gave them over to the shameful lusts. Even women exchanged natural relations for unnatural ones. In the same way, men also abandoned natural relations with women and were inflamed with lust for one another. Men committed shameful acts with other men and received in themselves the due penalty. So people take this out of context because this is actually about the Gentiles worshiping false idols. If you go on to read like more of it, he's referring to the Gentiles rejecting the true God to pursue false idols. And the sexual behavior is being described as not loving of nature, lacking commitment, just as if you're a straight person and if you have sex before marriage, there's no commitment. I don't care if you say that you're dating Charlie and you go and fuck Charlie before you're married, that's still a sin. Like that's still a sin, man. A lot of people use Leviticus 20:13 as their like battle against the gay people, where it says no man should lay with like another man, or he will lay in his own blood, something like that. But if you go on to read of all of Leviticus 20, it also goes on to be like, if you commit adultery, you will be killed. Same, it's on the par. Like, they're the same playing field, man. You sleep with your brother's wife, you're killed. You marry anyone in your family, you're killed. You fuck with animals, you're killed. Like, there's so many things in this verse that's more than just if a man lays with another man. And also, the more you think about it, a lot of the things in the Bible were not allowed have been accepted more and more throughout the years, because you guys are choosing to accept what you want to accept out of the Bible. And when it's appropriate for you, you can twist the Bible whatever way you want to work for you. It doesn't matter. I can go through the Bible all day because I spent like 30 minutes on the phone with my mom looking up stuff, right? Because I have some general knowledge. My mom is a very wonderful Christian woman who goes to church and fought for the right for me and my wife to be able to get married in her church, even though we're already married. But either way, wonderful Christian woman that believes in God, lives and walks with God, but has no problem with the fact that she has 2 gay children. One that's married and another one that's off living his life, doing his best life. My brother's gonna become a doctor. He's fucking amazing. In the Bible, you're not allowed to get divorced, but suddenly that's okay because, you know, over 50% of America gets divorced and everyone's okay with that. But that's not allowed in the Bible either. And women, this goes on to gay marriage. So marriage is so different now than it was in biblical times. In biblical times, marriage was like a transaction. Women were property. They were there for procreation, companionship, and labor. That's it. If you happen to fall in love with the person that you were married to, good. And it was common for men to have multiple wives, but you can't sleep with your brother's wife because then you're gonna die. It just, if everything's changing from the times that biblical times to now, we don't treat women like property. At that time, there could have never been a homosexual marriage because men, being the people that hold all the power, can't marry another man because another man's not going to stay at home, have their kids to continue their bloodline, and take care of them and clean the house, and is not going to be there to cook and spend time with them. Men are not going to do that for other men, and women have no rights, so they can't do that in the first place, even if they wanted to, even if that was a thought. But at that time, there was no sexual orientation because people weren't getting married for love. They weren't getting married for the desire of having sex. They were getting married to continue their bloodlines, to continue their families, to gain as much property as they can, to do as much as possible to make a way in this life for themselves. We live in a society where everything is much more accessible to us. We don't have to trek on camels or horses or whatever the fuck they're traveling on to get to nearby cities, and we don't travel for days and days. You can hop in a car, get on a plane, and drive over. It takes nothing. I drive back to Bluffton several times a week, and that's an hour-and-a-half drive. But I'm sure if I was riding a fucking camel, it would take a hell of a lot longer. It's just... The thing I don't understand is that people fighting with their religion. I understand your religion, and I respect the heck out of your religion. Everyone needs something to believe in. But, like, at what point does this stop? Honestly. I think that what they're starting in Bluffton is beautiful. It's amazing. And I'm so thankful for the people that stood up to start this for us. I'm so excited, and I can't wait to be there on Saturday. And guys, if you're going to be there on Saturday, I can't wait to see you. Like, come give me a hug. I'll be there with my wife and a bunch of friends coming from out of town. It's going to be a great time. So if you're going to Pride in Bluffton on Saturday, the 22nd, I can't wait to see you there. My final note, you can use the Bible whatever way you want, whether you're a Christian or not, to make it back up any point you want. You can take any verse out of context to make what you want right instead of what's actually right. Everything else in that Bible has evolved, and the only thing that you guys are hanging on to is the homosexuality, then that's on you. But just remember that lying and stealing is on the same level as murdering, because a sin is a sin no matter how big. And that's on you. If you think my life is sin because I live with a woman and I'm married to a woman, then that's on you. But my life's pretty great from where I stand. So I'm sorry if you don't agree, but I'm gay as shit, so I can't do anything about it. Have a good one, y'all. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.